Hello everyone, welcome to Sharmit. In this session, we are going to discuss about another example for background clip property of CSS, where we will see how we can utilize a image as a background for a font. Okay, so far we have discussed how to apply background to a div or maybe a particular element, right? But this time we are going to see how we can apply image as a background for a font. Okay, now before we start the discussion, I would like to recommend you to please go and check out the previously released sessions first, because they all are in proper sequence and sync. So if you follow them sequentially, then it would be much more easier for you to understand the ongoing topic. For time being, we are just mainly focusing on how we can use the background clip with text value. Okay, but prior to that we have already discussed other three values of background clip, that is border box, padding box and content box. So this session is in the continuation of the same. Okay, now you can see we have noted down the basic code so far, where we have just noted the title in the head section, and there is one heading showing CSS Cascading Style Sheets by Sharmit. So you can simply save it and refresh the browser. So once you refresh the browser, you will see that CSS Cascading Style Sheets by Sharmit has been printed. Now what we will do, after this we will put a heading, another heading which is H2, and in this H2 we will put the main title of our session, which is background clip, background-clip, where background clip CSS property for applying background image to text. So this is our main topic for today, background clip CSS property for applying background image to text. Now you can simply save it and refresh the browser. So this is just a heading for the session that we are going to cover. Now for this example, what we need, firstly we need a larger font, because when we are going to apply background image, it should be visible properly. So for that purpose, what we will do, we will simply create one div here. Div is not required, like if you want to apply it directly to heading, that is also fine, but it's better to keep something as a container so that we can see and apply the property easily. So just for that purpose, I'm using one div here. So you can simply write here div. In div we can simply apply the ID. So here ID would be box, but keep it in mind that this is case sensitive. So if you are using it with capital B, it should be used while accessing it. It should be in the capital only, otherwise it won't work. Okay, fine. Now what we will do here, we will use one paragraph. Okay, so this is the paragraph. In this paragraph we will just put one text, one normal text. Okay, so we will just simply write here text space Sharmit. That's it. Okay, so what we did so far, we have just added one div with the ID box, and then we have added this paragraph tag where we have just provided this text. Now you can save it and refresh the browser. So once you refresh the browser, you will see that Sharmit has been printed on the screen. Now what next? After this we are going to apply some basic property to this so that we can see it properly, and then we will apply background clip with text. So for that, to apply the basic properties, I am going to use basic CSS using internal CSS. So for that, let's add here style. In a style, we will use the selector as box, which we have already created, and to access this we need hash. So we are using hash, then opening and curly braces, and here we will apply the basic thing like background color. Firstly we will apply background color. So this is the background color for the div, not for the text. So here I'll use yellow color, or maybe any dark color we can use here, maybe dark, we can use dark red Now you can save it and refresh it. So you can see it is coming like this. Now after this, what we will do, we will apply some width and height to the div. So add width 640 pixels and height would be 400 pixels. Now you can save it and refresh it. So after a refresh, you can see that text is coming here with a black font. Okay, so what we will do now, instead of background color, I think we can directly apply border so that you can see the area, because I just want to show you the area that we are going to cover. So that's why I'm using 20 pixels solid black. Otherwise the image won't be that much visible to you. Okay, fine, now it looks good. So after this, what we will do, we will apply the font size, because we want to use image. So for that purpose there should be proper font size. So let's apply it as 200 pixels. Save it, refresh it. So it is coming like this. And in case of width, maybe we can change it to percent, and 100% we can make it 100%. Save it, refresh it. Perfect. So now you can see it is coming like this only. Okay, now what next? Now the requirement is that we want to apply background image not to this div but to this text, which means we want to show a image in the font itself. So for that reason, what we are supposed to do, because let's say if someone asks you to change the color or to use any specific color to the text, you can do this. How? We can simply use it here, the color, and in color, not columns, it should be color. In color, we can simply select the color, whatever color we want to use. For example, yellow. So if we save it yellow, so it comes with a yellow color. Likewise, if someone asks you to change it to blue, you can change it to blue. But what if someone asks you to use any particular image within this text? So to add this, what we can do, you can simply extend this thing. Here you will see that one tiger.webp is an image available in my folder, and similarly, like I will use this image to apply it as a background of a font, not a div. So don't get confused between these two things. We can apply background image to the font. Inside a font, it should show this kind of image. Similarly, if we apply the background to a div, that is also possible. So that we already know. Now this time we are going to talk about the process to apply background image to a font inside a font. Okay, so this image I have already stored in the same folder where my code exists. So in this situation, like, there is no need to provide the complete path for me. So what I'll do now, I'll simply apply background image. Okay, and in background image we will use URL. In URL we will select the file name, which is a image name. So I will simply write tiger.webp. Now you can save it and refresh it. So once you refresh it, you will see that this image is coming in a background of div, not in a font, but we want to apply it inside a font, right? So for that purpose, what we will do, we will use here background clip, which is our main topic. So I can simply write here background clip. In background clip, we will use the value as text. In previous session we discussed three value: border box, padding box and content box, but this time we are going to introduce a new value, that is text. So just simply write here text and save it. After a save, you will see that now image is removed. Why? Because we have added the image, but still this font contain a color, and if it contains a color, we are not supposed to override it with the image. So for that purpose, what we will do here, we will use the color as transparent. But now some of you might be thinking like we can simply remove this part and we can save it and refresh it. So in that situation also, it is coming with a black color, and we don't want a black color. Instead of that, we want a image. So for that reason, to hide this color, we will make it as a transparent, and this is a mandatory step, because if you are not using this transparent, it won't show any image on the background. So for that reason, we will use here transparent in a color. Now you can save it and refresh the browser. So once you refresh the browser, now you can see inside a text font, we can see an image of tiger, right? And how it is coming? Because we have already applied the background image as tiger, and according to that image you can see the portions of that image, right? Here you can see the tiger face and the grass is here, right? So this is how we can utilize the background clip in order to apply background image inside a font. Okay, so far like we have covered 4 values for the background clip which we can use in order to apply the background clip. Either like we can use we discussed 4 values: border box, padding box, content box, and now we discussed about the text. So I hope this session is clear to all of you. In the next session we will discuss few more things. So thank you for watching Tech Sharmit.